let me just say, it has been a cultural phenomenon on a level that I can't really do justice. How have the reactions been for you guys? Could you tell us the most memorable reactions you've had to this film in the past, what has it been, 5 or 6 months? Do you want to kick off, Ryan?
Yeah, I could kick off. Um, I think it would be. We had a screening in L.A. at the cemetery a few weeks back.
Wow.
And that was pretty fantastic. Um, how many people was it? Like a few thousand? Listen, like maybe over 1,500. I want to say, like all out at night in the cemetery at the cemetery called Hollywood Forever. It was pretty fantastic. People singing, dancing, people dressed up. So I would say that's probably number one for me right now.
I think for me, I've been out here for the past 11 months filming, and I didn't really get a chance to be out too much while the movie was out. But this past Halloween, seeing all the costumes, I think was pretty special. To see how the fans and the kids started dressing up as Smoke and Stack and and Mary and Annie and Sammy and stuff like that. So whenever a project kind of reached the community and the people, they want to show up and get costume, get dressed up, and go out. That was a special experience.
Yeah. That's amazing. And Miles, how's it changed your life? I can only imagine.
Man, every way, for sure. It's been like a 360 life change. Just to see the interaction, to be a part of the film, and to be able to have the music element of it, to be able to act and make my debut and work with, Mike and Ryan, truly life changing for sure.
Now, I'm aware of this because we've discussed it before, but what people may not be fully au fait with is just how hot it was when you shot this movie, right? Now, we're about to see it on the biggest screen I can conceive of. Can you please tell us about the 120-degree heat we're talking about here?
Yeah, I can tell you about it.
Cotton suits.
Yeah, wool suits sometimes.
Wool.
Yeah,
Wool.
three-piece guys. Yeah, I mean, look.
Cars with no AC. Yes.
The reality is like we shot the film in Louisiana, which is very close to Mississippi where it was set. Had to shoot in a lot of rural locations, and yeah, I can't believe these guys were able to do the performance that they did in those conditions. I could barely stand there and direct half the time. It was so crazy, and this was Miles' first movie.
Can we get a round of applause, please, for Miles?
Day one, we threw him in a car with Michael B. Jordan and taught him to act, and sing, and Mike, every day had to play 2 different roles, and the most phenomenal thing about Mike is he makes things that are incredibly difficult look really easy. It's almost to his detriment because people think that it is easy. But there's a big difference between something looking easy and actually being easy. He worked so incredibly hard on this film and really became these people, and that's what I see when people want to dress up as these characters and talk about them as if they're family. You know what I mean? It's just a testament to the work that he was able to do, developing the accent and the physical mannerisms, and each day was a new day. Like each day was a new system for how we could achieve, the illusion of these two characters being played by this one fantastic actor. So yeah, I mean, just the fact that they were able to remember their lines and say it in the intensity of that weather was just it was impressive every day.
I still think about that cigarette pass.
That was the hottest day.
That was the hottest day.
Yeah, that was the hottest day, man. Yeah. And it took a lot of work to get that right. Big shouts out to the VFX unit and but it was all Mike. It just was all him having to get that timing and when he was gonna pass it and it's just a testament to his skill set.
I appreciate that. It's something about that heat too, because when you're out in those cotton fields, sugarcane fields, set in the 30s, that heat. You think about your ancestors and what my great grandparents, things that they were actually living and going through on a daily basis. So it really helped you, channel and lock in a big way. So the heat was definitely a challenge and an obstacle, but I don't think you get those performances and those perspectives without it. It was a big contribution to that.
I would also like to briefly talk about a scene that I'm sure, even if you haven't seen the movie, you'll be aware of, which is the sort of the musical, almost time-bending moment. And I was talking to Haley, and she was telling me the hardest part about shooting that scene was not being able to watch the incredible work that was going on around them. Could you maybe, Miles, talk a bit about shooting that scene? It's an extraordinary piece of bravura filmmaking from Ryan here. What was it like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I remember the first time reading it on the script and just being like blown away and just also like trying to imagine what it would look like. And then I remember the conversation I had with Ryan about it and him just telling me the importance of the scene and just reading the script overall and seeing like what it means to culture and to music, highlighting the blues, the evolution, and how important it is to still to this day. So that was the first part. And then getting to set, I remember they showed me like an animated video of how like all the work would go, like the choreography, the camera, how they would, you know, place everyone. So that was a lot of fun to shoot for sure. I think, how many days was that? Was that like 2?
Yeah, it was
Exterior.
it was one exterior day, like a half day, and then a full day of the montage, and then we started the performance off on like a half day before that.
Yeah.
You know, so I would say 2 days total.
2 days, yeah. And man, just life changing. Working with Ludwig on I Lied to You, written by Raphael Sadiq. I remember hearing it for the first time and just being blown away by how much it related to my character, how much I was able to use that song to really just understand why Sammy is doing what he's doing, what he's chasing, what he's after. And it just created for a really dope vibe on the set.
And you had 6 Grammy nominations last night, I believe. No big deal.
Yeah, big shout out to Ludwig Göransson, Serena Göransson, and Miles, and all the incredible musicians that were involved, and all the incredible actors that sang and danced in the movie. A lot of British representation in the film, with Jack O'Connell and Wumi Musaku. Delroy Lindo, who was born here. A lot of people forget that. But Del was born here. James Blake laid something down on the soundtrack. I don't know if y'all heard that. Definitely check that. But it was a global effort. You know, for an art form that has become a global sensation in its time, and it continues to push the medium forward. Man, it's been our honor to do this and to bring it to this screen too. Man, it's a special screen.
You also don't make it easy for yourself because we've got incredible technical feats we're pulling off here, camera work. Could you talk a little bit, without sort of peeling back the curtain too much, about the technical feats of this movie?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Side straight away from Ryan.
No. We shot on film, with 2 very very unique camera packages. We had the IMAX 15-part film, 65mm package, and then we also shot with the Ultra Panavision 65mm package, which is, so we had the widest format that's available, and then also juxtaposed with the tallest format available. Both on film. Very unique looking movie. Autumn Arkapar, our cinematographer, exposed it in a very unique fashion, taking advantage of really African skin tones and the reflective quality of it. We go to some really dark exposures in the movie, and you'll see wide representations of like every type of skin tone here, which makes the film, I think, incredibly unique visually. And we had to implement a lot of techniques. The IMAX camera is very noisy. It's not a sync sound camera. It sounds like a weed whacker in a metal box. And I think that it was a level of comfort that the cast had to get with working with a camera that's that loud. And we talked with Chris Nolan and Emma Thomas, who had just worked with that camera for Oppenheimer, and some techniques how to maintain performance, and it was a lot of really we always felt like we were on the cutting edge of something every day. I would say we always felt fortunate to be working with those camera systems at this time.
And it's something about the mag changes that you have to go through. So you don't really have a lot of long takes that you're used to. You don't just keep the camera rolling. So when you're changing out the mags, and you see them take that film, package it up. Briefcase.
Sometimes they'll cheer for him.
Yeah, it's check the gate, because that's everything. That's gold. That's all we got right there. Going to the trailer, make sure that nothing happens to it. So it was it kind of it makes you lock in and tap into the moment and stay extra focused, because every second that cameras on and rolling, you gotta show up and be there. So it's special.
And the other piece was just the live music aspect of it. You know, we hired real musicians, and that's them singing. You know, that's Miles in the car. You know, like I don't want to ruin it for the new folks, but the first time you actually see his character perform, that's the real deal. You know, Mike hooked up.
Thank y'all.
And he had to, you know, Miles had to learn how to play the slide guitar for this movie. You know, what was your lessons like, bro? What was that process?
Man, that was definitely intense. We had 2 months before we filmed. We shot it last year, April, so we had 2 months before that. And I worked with a guitarist, and the first couple of days just looked like, listen, Ryan had sent me an Essential Blues playlist with like Charlie Patton and Muddy Waters, Buddy Guy.
Can we get in on that playlist?
Easy, I get it to you.
Sweet.
Yeah. And
Sorry, Miles, you were saying.
No. That just really kicked off my research and really just understanding, you know, the music that came from that time, and just diving into like their performances and stuff like that. So I studied like Howlin' Wolf and Son House for the performance aspect of it. But for guitar, I had to learn like scales. I didn't have time to learn like all of guitar. I had to specifically like dial in on blues specifically. So that was definitely a challenge because like the different like finger, like the way you have to position yourself and like do like the certain techniques of it was difficult, but the more you do it, the better you get at it. And then the slide element was also interesting too, but it was fun, man. It was a dope process. And once I got out there, I felt like I was ready.
You definitely was, man. From day one, you blew me away, blew everybody away, man. Like, you know, you wouldn't be able to tell that this is his first film, and by the end of it, man, he was man, he was a full-fledged vet, man. You blew everybody away, bro. Incredible.
Guys, it is with a very heavy heart, and also not with a heavy heart because you're excited to watch the movie, that we're going to wrap things up. Thank you once again to Ryan and Michael, and of course Miles. Thank you all so much for coming.
Appreciate it.
Such a pleasure.